Hello and welcome to And Now We're Talking.
And now we're talking.
Yeah, and now we're talking with myself, Gillian Stickney, and my co-host,
Michelle Patterson Nipp.
Thanks for joining us today. We are talking about a whole bunch of everything and all of nothing all together, real estate and maybe otherwise.
Well, it all came together when we were sitting and having one of our lunches together.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about real estate, and we're like,
we should be recording this.
We should be recording this.
And we've done that more than once, where we're like, oh my God, why aren't we doing a podcast? And then and now here we are, finally.
Right.
Years later.
Right.
And so now we need to think about what we're gonna
talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shall we set the scene?
Sure.
We're in Edmonton, right?
2026.
January. And in January, and maybe people are familiar with this, you get bombarded with forecasts for the upcoming year.
Yes, market trends, forecasts, yes. Prognostications of prognostications.
Yes. Annual reviews, year in reviews.
Totally goals for the year.
Right.
Predictions, yeah.
And then it's like, what do they even mean? Do they mean anything?
The irony is they mean something by the mere virtue of them being. Because if they didn't exist, it would change the outcome.
Oh my God, you're getting deep.
Well, no, but when we talked about the market in Toronto and Vancouver the other day.
Yep. And
those, I think, are like loosely predicted to be going down, let's say 5 or 6% this year. You can't go and tell those marketplaces 12%. That's what I'm saying. Like, just the mere act of doing a prediction does influence the outcome a little bit, dare I say. Of course, there's, I think, only so far that can go. You know, we can't be telling Toronto and Vancouver they're going up 10% because everyone knows that's a lie. But
well, the other thing too about forecasts is that it's good coffee talk. It's good water cooler talk, right? You're at the dinner table. You're at a dinner party, right? Let's talk about
what's
real
the market
estate.
doing? Yeah.
Right. But when it comes down to it, it doesn't really matter because there's so many variables that come into play.
Yes.
If you're either selling or buying, what the forecast is shouldn't matter because it depends on like what are you buying? Oh, where are you buying?
What are you selling? What's your motivation? Like, that's the thing. So I guess your point being is like, what is that all really about? I think it's all, filler, you know.
So I think you use the forecast as maybe a little bit of a guide as to what's happening overall.
I already want to laugh. Sure, okay, yeah.
Maybe not,
well,
no?
You could use it as an opener, and then that's where you're like, but actually, this is just a guide at best, and it's really just a conversation starter.
Well, I think what was interesting, because the Real Estate Association of Edmonton did do their forecast last week, and they actually talked about, hey, what did we get right and what did we get wrong? And it comes to no surprise that they kind of got a lot wrong.
Right. Well, and, I think you feel the same, but for the last, since COVID, for sure, I don't think, even I would say leading up to, like, it's been a long time since I've gone to an Edmonton real estate board forecast, and we've been doing them for decades now. And I felt back in the day, those actually carried some water. Now, it's like we have to go through the steps, and we have to kind of, I think, they're very curated, like almost, like I said, you kind of can't tell people the sky's falling because if you do, then it's just gonna multiply, but you can be like, oh, might be a bit of storm clouds out there, and it helps mitigate. Not that that's Edmonton. I don't think we're storm clouds. If anything, when other markets zig, we zag, so that's great. And I mean, a lot of markets in Canada have had their day in the sun for a long time.
Yeah.
And we've just been getting little snippets here and there. So, I mean, twofold, like, we're used to it. And I think we're kind of due, or we certainly haven't experienced the massive growth over the last several decades like the other markets have. So, what goes up must come
in
down.
Prices.
And vice versa. Yes.
Prices,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So, it's not to say that we can't go down in price, but like, we haven't skyrocketed up. There's not going to be that ricochet in pricing, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Everything good there?
I don't know.
Well, we can.
Let's go and take a
break.
Yeah, the prices have been steadily creeping up on all markets. I'm talking single-family homes, condos.
Apartment-style condos.
They're not going down. They're probably selling. Here, let me pull up.
Okay.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up. I'm going to filibuster because, just a small bit of steady growth every year is ideal. Now, we used to actually have that, like, let's say 15 years ago, over the course of the year, a home price, single family homes would go up 2 or 3%, and that was gradual over the course of the year. Nowadays, what I find happens is you just really kind of come in hot to the year, and the spring you might be up 7 or 8%, and then year over year you're still up 3 or 4. Like, it really kind of almost goes up, peaks, and then starts coming down, whereas back in the day it would just slowly go up over the year. Right. So that is, I guess, one difference, because I do love a really balanced market with a bit of growth. But when you said that, I was like, ooh, I feel like we still deal with some erratices, and definitely more so than, again, back in the day.
So this is the normal cycle. Okay, and
it just seems to be exacerbated, though.
But we should preface this by saying that between both of us, we have what?
Well, I'm at
40 years.
Yeah, I'm at 22, over 22 now.
Yeah, and I'm at 20.
Yeah.
So 42 years of experience. I hate it when people do that, by the way.
I know. Yes, actually, that is such a... you know what? I don't think I ever have. And, there was something recently, and it wasn't to be like, oh, I've been doing this long, but it, somehow was maybe wanted to make its way into the conversation, and I was like, no, I hate it when agents, I've been doing this for blah, blah, blah. And it's like...
Yeah, but, aside from that, because I totally hate that, when we're talking about our experiences with forecasts, it's not like we've been just doing this for 2 years, right? So I think in this particular instance, that makes a difference.
We're allowed? Okay.
Because like you said, when 20 years ago when we started, where we didn't have all the information that we do now on the internet, the forecasts meant something.
Yeah.
They really
totally
did.
And the market in the industry was so different. So yeah, exactly. For all those reasons, the market or the forecast really meant something. Now it's just kind of like a formality.
I mean, it's a good way to start off the year for the association, right?
Yeah.
It's a good reason to put real estate in the news.
So this is, yes, I guess it serves a very different purpose. I wouldn't even say formality. It's like back in the day, it used to actually be to make predictions. Now it's just to kind of get the word out there, start some real estate conversations, but the predictions really... a loose guess at best, in my opinion.
Right. Okay, so
did you find condos yet?
You know what? I think I want to get onto some Wi-Fi here.
Oh, okay.
So let me just get the
Okay. So we've pulled the stats from last year, 2025 over 2024, and we'll start with the apartment condos, because that was the one I'm like, oh, those are down. I was wrong. They are up 5.5% on average price, allegedly.
Yeah.
However, unit sales are down. So
the number of sales that are being sold down 7%.
Right. So if you crunch numbers, I'm sure we could find a way that I'm right. No. But no, okay, that's interesting. Well, it would be interesting. They probably, if we saw month over month, did what I was talking about earlier, like a really kind of high swing up in the spring and then really came down. Because I feel like those kind of recently month over month have really been taking a kicking. But I'm glad that they're still up overall. So yeah, so I think we were going to talk about how, yeah.
But it's not okay. So when you look at the pattern here, and what we're doing is we're just going over the year-over-year summary, and it seems like when you look at detached homes,
yeah,
right, the number of units that have sold have come down compared to 2024.
Yeah.
Right?
So more volume, but the prices are a bit higher.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that is a direct response to supply and demand, right? Less volume, prices go up.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the problem that we had at the beginning of last year. There wasn't a lot of
there
inventory.
Was such low inventory. Technically, right now, we have low inventory. Doesn't really feel like it because the market isn't super hot or robust.
Yeah.
But last year at this time, I think you felt it.
Yeah.
If memory serves me, it was kind of like anything remotely decent in a viable part of the market was like scooped up immediately if you listed it last January. Now, I mean, it might be a bit of a different story, although it's not bad. It's not bad out there.
It's not bad. I think it's still a little too early.
Yes. Early days.
Too early to tell. But I think that's the interesting number, is that the actual number of units that are being sold have come down from 2024. And if we're getting into predictions, I think what might be causing that is what's happening in the world.
Oh, absolutely. I think between, everything on the world scale, what's going on. And I mean, and then that is also obviously dictates outside of our market, just like what's going on here. So if other economies are kind of cautious, we're cautious. Yeah. And it's just we're such a global market now, which again was so different from 15 or 20 years ago. Not to say that it wasn't a factor, but not to the degree that it is now. And so to me, that's exactly it. I feel a lot of caution out there, which definitely does stifle turnover, the market. So it'll be really interesting. And I'm just kind of wondering, because like I said, normally our spring is really sort of our peak. Are we going to almost have like a late bloom of a year? Like, is it going to be kind of like actually like just slowly tick up like I was talking about back in the day?
Okay, so this is what I find that's always funny about real estate and my business, right? Mm-hmm. Whenever there's something happening in the larger community, like in Edmonton or in Canada, like elections, slows right down.
Yes, because people they're cautious. They don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So we had 2 elections last year.
Yeah.
We had the city, we had the one for mayor, we had the
federal.
One for federal.
Yeah.
Slowed down during those times. You know another thing that slowed it right down?
What?
Those Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, what? When they were going on their run? Everyone was busy watching the games?
Yes.
How dare they? And then they don't win the cup. I mean, at least make it worthwhile for us boys. Gosh.
But it's funny how it had an impact on the business.
Yeah,
and
that tracks.
Maybe that might show up in those numbers too. Although that doesn't explain the Oilers too, because they made it in 2024 as well.
Touche.
But Blue Jays,
the Blue Jays, yeah. Yeah,
right?
So I think what you're trying to say here is there are so many factors that contribute to what is going on, and that is on a macro and a micro. So we have our macro factors, but then each transaction, there's each individual situation. So there's so many layers. So to really predict is, it's anyone's guess. But That being said, if I was to I think it's going to be slow and steady. I would like to be pleasantly surprised. And it could happen. I don't think we're going to see sale prices year over year that are not up again. I just, I don't know how much. And if they were down, it would be minimally, like 1%. Our market is very hardy and, we're tough. Like, we're used to this. I do think those other markets, like the Torontos, the Vancouvers, that don't know what it's like to not be up significantly year over year, every year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're in for, probably a rude awakening on a few different levels. And even the agents, like, God, doing it as long as both of us have, like, we have, most years that we've been here have been it's a real grind. Like, we do have our moments in the sun in this market for sure, but a lot of times you really do have to work hard and know what you're doing and everything else to get business done. And I think some of these other markets have just been kind of on a bit of a cakewalk here, and so I mean, I kind of feel for them. I feel for people who are, financially going to be hurting from it, but it's like,
you know what? I don't feel for them.
Well, it depends on the scenario for sure, but like, I mean, and I'm certainly not an expert on the Toronto market, but I know people were buying stuff on spec. Now, one of my rules is everything looks good on a blueprint, but I can tell you right now, when you're buying a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo that's 600 square feet, it is not going to be good. But no, I think, they were buying things that were meant to be done several years out, planning to sell the contract before they were even done and make like a cool 50, 100,000. It's like, no, in what planet? And if that was actually what happens, it wouldn't happen. Like, it's just a self-fulfilling conundrum almost. So, and it finally caught up with them. And so I do agree. Like, I kind of don't feel bad for people who are like, I'm just going to get rich quick here. And it's like, no, like, but.
Yeah. I'm hesitating because I was listening to some economists and not economists, some financial planning people. And maybe I shouldn't say this because I'm a realtor, but a lot of them aren't necessarily looking at real estate in terms of investing in
Smart
it right
money.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there are so many things that are happening outside of just, holding on to something for a long time and making money, or like in Toronto, a short period of time and making a ton of money. There are some outside factors, like there's governments coming in. There's like all the policy changes that are having an impact on how the real estate market is.
How you own, all sorts of things, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, for your residents, everyone needs a place to live. It's a smart investment. You're going to be paying money regardless,
And at that point, it's not really an investment, right?
No,
it's
exactly.
Taking care of a major need in your life.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I see what you're saying on the investment side. I think it's going to be a wider, like, we're going to have, a very small number of people who probably own a large amount of property, not too many middle, and then just maybe people who own their one residence, and then renters. But there's not going to be those people who own like half a dozen properties. Like, I think it's going to, what's the word I'm looking for? That gap is widening, possibly.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what those people who are like hobbyists.
Yeah, like hobbyists.
Hobbyists?
No, but like, not everyone is like, I don't want to say Trump, but you know what I mean? Like this big, I own like 100 buildings but yeah, like kind of hey, you know what? This has been just a slow, steady way for me to passively build my like portfolio. Yeah, like
a way to diversify.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always liked real estate in the sense of, okay, well, if you have a property, it's rented out. If you're covering your costs and ideally making a little bit, but let's even just hypothetically say covering costs, in 25 years you own it outright, and so I think there's a lot of those, or there were, maybe that'll dissipate in the market a bit. I don't know. I hadn't put much thought into it, to be honest.
Well, let's move on to something else.
Please.
Let's move on, because again, just reviewing of what came to light with the forecast. What about these neighborhoods that sold the most homes?
Keswick, I live right by it.
So Keswick, Chappelle, Edgemont, Secord, and Summerside.
Yeah. All south and west.
All southwest and all like newer neighborhoods.
Yeah. Correct.
So what do you make of that? What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's because of, the upward trend in pricing. So, a little bit that drive to qualify inside the city. Like maybe everyone would love to live in Garneau and Glenora, but you get so much more bang for your buck in those more in the newer neighborhoods that are further out. That would be my take on it, because like if you kind of are trying to get into the market, you're just going to get a lot more because you're kind of sacrificing location. It's not that any of those are bad neighborhoods, but you're not close to central Edmonton. So if you work, and it's just
a lot of them are, kind of in the immature area in the sense that it doesn't have a lot of infrastructure around it yet.
Right. Yeah. Very new. Yeah.
Very new. So it doesn't have all the schools. And in fact, like when you look at Summerside, the school situation there can be pretty rough. If you think you're going to be sending your kid to and I can't remember the name of the school there, just because you live in Summerside, it's like, no. If
think
you're
again.
Think again. If you're across the wrong street, you might be busing your kid to another school.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have all of that infrastructure yet.
Correct.
But I think another thing is that maybe people like new stuff.
Oh, well, that's where I'm talking about bang for your buck. You're going to get, you can get a nice single family home that doesn't need any sort of significant money put into it right away in some of those neighborhoods for, let's say, $500,000, versus if you got something like that in Bonnie Doon. I just think, are you going to get all the new fancy finishes and this like super solid home that doesn't need a new sewer line, a new roof? Oh, the windows were like, it just, I think, financially makes sense. And I think there's enough people who would just as soon or prefer to live in maybe a more mature central area. But at the end of the day, when they weigh, okay, I can have a nice ensuite, I can, the things that come with the newer homes, I think that's what's tipping the scales out there myself.
Well, and I find too that the buyers right now, and of course we're talking generalities, but they don't have the skills. I'm sorry.
To do the work.
They don't have the skills to do the work.
Skills? But why don't they have the skills? Because they're not interested in it. Like if someone was interested,
no.
But this is our, we can get into this. This is like, no, I want it now. I want it perfect.
Yeah,
like
I don't want to have to do it myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I can't. And I think generations of past have been able to, because they're like, well, I want this, so I gotta do it now.
Sweat equity, you know, gotta work hard, gotta put in that sweat equity to get what you want.
My first house, 1,000%. It was in Park Allen. It was like a little wartime home, and, redid the hardwood, painted the kitchen cabinets, first time buyers nowadays, what I bought as my first home, I'm gonna say some would, but they're getting like the half duplex in Chappelle, right?
So here's what you have. This is the reality that we live in now. People like those Gen Xers who have maybe onto their third or fourth house, they're done. They don't want to do any of those renovations.
They don't want to do the work. The new ones, are we the only ones doing the work, Michelle?
And the new buyers, right? The young ones who can get a house, they don't want to do the work either.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's me and you doing the work.
Well, I'm not even doing the work, so.
No, well, that's the thing. I feel like, okay, so I don't even know
who's doing the work?
Well, this is the thing. We've done the work in the past. The older generations have done the work in the past, but the new generation, they're not carrying the torch for us.
Well, no, they're like, why would I want to do that work?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just, yeah, like, but it's, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm thinking of the market, like when again, this was early 2000s before I even got licensed, like there weren't a whole bunch of new communities, so I didn't really have that option of that, shiny new townhouse in Chappelle.
Well,
Did I?
I think, that's the other point too, right? I think homes do go up faster now. They, like the construction season, as I think everybody in Edmonton could attest, it's year round now.
Yeah.
I remember when we're growing up, like winter, you wouldn't see people outside, building houses.
And I think they have better tools to,
so
accommodate
technology,
that.
advances in
to keep things warm when they need to be and whatever, just to work around stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Dare I say global warming? Maybe we don't.
Yeah,
we don't have those frigid. Yeah, we don't have those frigid winters that seem to have gone on forever.
I disagree. It's feeling pretty cold out there today. But that's an interesting observation.
But I thought that was really neat too. And then so they have more homes.
Yeah, there's a lot of that available. That's another thing. So you could go and pick from 50 different street side products in those neighborhoods versus now we have a couple houses in zone 15 or 16 that would fit our it's just easier.
You have to explain zone 15 and 16.
Right, zone 15 and zone 6. If you guys don't know, what the heck, no. It's central, so that's going to be your university area, and then over by, I guess 16. I was thinking 17. I was thinking Bonnie Doon, but 16 is sort of Southgate area, whatever.
Yeah.
It's more mature central south side. Yeah.
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 But I love talking in zones, so my apologies.
Me too. And I can nerd out on zones, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know why the whole community doesn't use them.
What do you mean?
Like the zones.
Like when you say the whole community.
I think only realtors know what zones
Correct.
are.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why people, it's like, oh, whereabouts are you living?
Well, that's because I would love that. That's because if you only, there's so many interesting questions here, because I'm like, if you only move, let's say once every 10 years, and I think you're more like, I want to live, up to the river and then no further than the White Mud, people, the general public doesn't use zones, but I think that would be a real coup. Because I'm like, oh, zone 29 or zone 12, and then there's some that I don't even know, so I better brush up on that. Zone 7? What's that?
Oh, they don't even, okay, zone 7, I think that's Prince
Central?
Rupert.
Yes, okay, I do know it. Which brings us to maybe an interesting question. How often does the average homeowner do a turnover?
So, I heard that, and now this is probably going back some, but I heard it was 5 to 7 years.
Interesting. Yeah, because if I had to take a guess, I was going to say 5, and the 5 to 7 makes more sense to me because 5 seems shocking. Those aren't my clients. I buy them such a great house, they stay there for 20 years. It's really kind of a curse. And that's the thing. I think there's a real average, median, mean discussion here because there's, I'll sell homes for people and they've been there for 42 years, and then there's someone who buys a house and immediately gets divorced and sells it again, so
yeah, that's a whole other episode.
Yeah, it's a whole other podcast. Which we are also therapists, so
at times.
Yeah, often at times. Or a job transfer or so many things. Life happens, right? So and it's so funny because people will be like, oh, this is my forever home. And then, sure enough, within the next handful of years, something's up. And vice versa. Sometimes you think, oh, this is just going to be a little temporary landing pad. And what do you know? It chooses you.
See, and it's going to be interesting, especially when we looked at the number of homes, how the units went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to start to see people live in their homes longer?
I think with a more cautious market where people are, don't know what's happening, or slower economy, absolutely. Like that slows. So I think we can add a bit onto that. And I do think just in general, like I could see that. I think that trend would go up a bit. Not, it's not going to double or anything, but I think it's going to trend towards people doing less transactions of that nature and staying in the home they're in
for a longer period of time.
Overall.
Yeah. So my next comment or question is how Edmonton has changed. And I noticed that when we were talking, we're referring to, now this is coming from somebody who grew up in Riverbend.
Yeah.
And that was suburban.
Two Riverbend
Two
girls,
Riverbends,
actually. Yeah. She was I was Brookside. She was, were you Brander or
Ramsey Heights.
Ramsey Heights.
Yeah. Ramsey Heights.
Mm-hmm. All Zone 14 people. If you're keeping score, Zone 14.
Yeah. And growing up, that was like suburbs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I used to, if I would have hunted for gophers, like that would have been out in the fields by our homes, right? But
yes,
23rd Ave was literally like, it was that blacktop road, no shoulder, no one ever drove on. It was like a country road.
Yeah.
And like Riverbend was kind of like the edge of the city in that for there. Yeah.
Right. But then when we're talking about zone 15, 14, 16, central Edmonton.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I wouldn't say 14 central, but yeah.
Here's my thing. I think that anything within Anthony Henday
snap
is central.
So like McGrath? You're a wild woman.
I mean, really? Because if you're in McGrath, how long does it take you to get downtown?
Oh, it might depend, but like under half an hour. So is this an under over?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's under half an hour, you're central.
Yeah.
If it's is that alarming?
Because
that under half an hour is central.
Well, if you're talking about getting from one end of the city to the other, like scrap the Anthony Henday, right?
Yeah.
If the Anthony Henday did not exist, the very fact that we now have an Anthony Henday, right, is definitely saying something. But, because when you're talking about commuting, sometimes avoiding the Anthony Henday is beneficial.
Oh, well, I live in the burbs, so I'm outside the Henday. So I don't even if I'm not going on the Henday, even if I'm just crossing over on the overpass, that's actually what really takes the time. But that is still an expansion where I am. Like, that's going to be, but that's a whole other discussion, but that's like such a long project and whatever. But and the Anthony Henday can definitely take time, but at least it gives you an option, Yeah. And just more actual capacity, right?
Right.
So.
But it seems like, it's, the center is getting less,
is getting less.
No, when we're looking at the neighborhoods that are selling more, that are getting more.
Oh, they're on the outskirts. On the outside of the
outskirts.
Oh, absolutely.
Newer neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And making those central, how else,
Yeah, central. Yeah.
Those central communities more, I don't want to say sought after.
Yeah.
But
they are.
And I think
they
are.
Why don't you want to? It's fine.
Yeah, I think they are. Oh, well, okay. That's just getting into the philosophy of like sought after and what people want to buy, right? Because everybody is different. And
right, but there's trends.
Oh gosh.
Like, yes, everyone is different, but like I would say in general, like.
And what are the trends that you see? Because I see the opposite sometimes.
But this is
I
what
see
I'm saying.
people wanting to come into,
Yeah.
like moving away from the outskirts.
Oh, I mean, in a perfect world where money wasn't an option, I'd be back in Zone 14 in a really, like, nicely done up home. So it'd be, like, very 2020s to some degree, but a beautiful, mature neighborhood that's, like, on the ravine or river valley, which is the beauty of Zone 14, everyone. We've got a couple, I'm assuming, big Zone 14 fans here.
There's, well, Zone 14, like Riverbend, but there's also Highlands and...
No.
You're just saying that because
I
you're
am
a
just saying
Southside
that. I am.
snob.
I'm a Southside snob. I'll own that. I'll take that. I'm fine. But like Highlands, so what we won't get into this unless you want to. But no, I would totally take like a home like that. That's just like very residential, but you're much closer to like, yeah, if you wanted to do something central, you know, any of the amenities sort of by the university or White Ave or like downtown or go to a hockey game, all of that stuff. Yeah, you're already like on second base when you're talking about getting there, right? Like versus like coming from
second base. You're like in the outfield.
Well, I'm in the outfield. Oh, you think in Zone 14 you're in the outfield? I'm in the outfield.
No, I was talking about where you are right now. It's like outfield.
Oh yeah. But I just mean I'm like already halfway there, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
yeah.
Let's get our sports analogies straight. We're realtors, folks. Come on. So anyway, yeah, I mean, that's what I would like. I mean, I think probably the actual most Sutter, I wonder, I think it's Glenora and probably Garneau or like something by the university. Those would probably be your two, Belgravia, maybe.
Okay. Are we talking about like dreams?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the reason all these new neighborhoods are busy is because you get more bang for your buck. The house I have in Windermere would cost more in
Glenora.
For sure those, but I'm even thinking like Bullier, Brander, but I mean those would be like infills, especially in the like that's the thing. So that a house gets so old, you can only do so much with it. So the Bullier brand or the Brookside Branders are a little too old. Bullier, yeah, I could work with that. Twilliger Park Estates, yeah. So
okay, well that brings me to my next little topic.
Ooh, what do we got here?
High rollers.
I saw that. Brander Gardens was popping off. So what we're talking about here is in 2025, the highest. So this is the top 5 highest sale prices in all of the city.
And they're all single family.
All single family homes.
Detached.
Yeah. And 2 of the top 5 are in Brander Gardens. Yeah. Boom. And then another one is in McTaggart. So 3 of them are in Zone 14. Again, for people keeping score. So yeah, the top one, $6 million in Brander. I'm trying to remember which one that was. Because normally, I mean, I love.
I think that was that Kevin Lowe's old house.
That was several years ago, and it was. I wonder.
No.
In 2012, beginning.
It's that one. They sold it again.
And they sold it with some of the land adjacent to it, I think.
They did, and they put another house on there.
Oh, okay, yeah, there was some differences, yeah.
But that's that property.
So that's number 1, and then Brander Gardens is also number 5 at 3.7, and heck if I know which one that one is either, because again, I feel like I should know, but I don't. Yeah.
Do you want to see it? Shall we pull it up?
We can. There was one in McTaggart for $5 million. Not surprised. Wedgwood Heights. So, like a Wedgwood Heights is very, in my mind. I mean, Brander Garden, no, but like it's kind of that era that.
Remind me where Wedgwood Heights is.
Sort of by your office ish. Wedgwood's out there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like Wolf Willow area.
Yeah, like it's a high end, ravine West End neighborhood of about that era.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Parkview, 3.75. Well, Wedgwood and Parkview tied for 3rd and 4th at 3.75 million, and then that one in Brander just missed it in 5th at 3.7. So
let's pull them up.
Yeah, I always.
'Cause it's
Well, you.
And this, if you look at the criteria.
So single family, detached, sold. Okay.
So,
And you could
maybe should I not put in the city?
Okay, so we are looking at, we've pulled up the top five or six, I'm confused. Sales.
Yeah, well, during the forecast, they went through the top 5.
Yeah.
But when we were pulling it up, we got 6.
Yeah. Because we're overachievers. And so I'm just gonna, that's not for this. Can you just,
we want to start at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, that's the lowest price. We'll go the other way.
Okay.
Okay.
This one.
No, that's not even
All
it.
right, well, that was the top one.
No, that's the top one.
Okay.
Yeah. Was that 6 or 5 million?
This one was 6 million.
Okay. Yeah, so
6
that
million.
That was a property on the ravine. Can we say who originally owned it?
Well, I don't know if they originally owned it, but it was designed by Lee Fogelin, and the Lowe's had it.
Yeah, the Lowe family lived there for many years, and then it looked like 2021 they sold it, and whoever had bought it then had put another parcel with it, an adjacent parcel, and then now it just sold here in the last year for $6 million. So that's the top seller, and that was in Brander. And then the next one was
McTaggart.
Yeah. So, and I mean, just a big masher of a home on the ravine, probably. Didn't really look at that one too closely. Then the next one was Wedgwood, another masher home. 2002. Yeah, interesting. And I would have been a really good location. It was on Wedgwood Crescent.
These windows are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like a pretty special property.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of interesting, we're not a market where it's like, the average single family, 5 something.
5 something.
Yeah. Like it's
5,
just, to get homes of this nature is, it's not a ton of turnover per se. And then,
well, you look on the days on market, right? Like this one was 143 days. So that's actually not bad.
No, and one of these sold pretty quick, actually. Let's maybe see what the next one is, because one of them was on for, was it this one?
Yeah,
5 days. Okay, so that was our Parkview one, and that was on Valley View Crescent, and it's a new build.
And Parkview, right? Central.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. No, and I mean, it looks like it's 5,000 square feet, and I'm assuming large lot. So I could see that. That doesn't actually surprise me. And that's actually an interesting point. So a real proper expensive home being in that location went. But that's what I was talking about. You want those modern day amenities, but you want that location. And
in a great location.
Yeah. But I mean, you're paying, so that house in Windermere, you're paying half, right? I mean, maybe not, but it's certainly, I don't think, I don't know you should actually look at the history and see if we can tell what it went for lot value. Because I'm like, what would that lot cost us? I don't know. 1.3 it expired at. So that was in 2024.
Let's just take a look at. Yeah.
So I mean, the house there, that's about a $3 million build. Wee, it's a big build.
A big build?
Yeah.
With a big bill.
Yeah. I like big builds, and I cannot lie. Anyway, okay, and then let's just look at that. And then White Mud Place. So this one it was listed just under $4 million and sold for $3.7 million. Super, literally around the corner from the one that sold for $6 million. And fun fact, I had sold, so this was 5 White Mud Place, or 4 White Mud Place. I had sold 5 White Mud Place probably about 6-ish years ago now, and it was,
how much was it?
I think it went for $3.9, right around there. Yeah, it was, I think it did sell for a little more than this. It was, I mean, obviously the market's up a bit, but the one I had sold, I think just the land and I mean, a wild, can I go on a tangent?
Tangent away.
Okay. So, and you'll appreciate this as an old school Riverbend girl. So White Mud Place, how it's situated is it's kind of above the back of Fort Edmonton. It's not even over Fort Edmonton, but there's a road that goes down. There's a few really cool houses in the river flats there behind Fort Edmonton. So these homes sit above that, like kind of in Brander Gardens proper, up top of the ravine. And so when I was younger, I remember there was a house. So if you came off that little road, this neighborhood, I mean, these were sort of more, I mean, that says 81. It was kind of went up maybe 91, sorry. I was going to say that cul-de-sac went up a little later than Brander Gardens, like the White Mud Place cul-de-sac. But then someone had developed a lot, and it was an offshoot off that road that passes by Hearthstone and takes you down to the flat. Okay. And the driveway was off there, and they built a home there. So like, let's say after this had been developed, and someone bought it and imploded it, the people whose view it obstructed. And I remember kind of, like I say, rode my bike there. Like I was like, this is insane. Like someone, and I think the house was like about 800,000 or 900,000. And I'm like, someone bought this to implode it. Little did little Jilly know that in like, I don't know, 10 or 20 years, I was going to be selling the house that bought that property to implode it. Yeah. And so that's how I know that lot is more special, because it's actually kind of two, and it's very cool. But I mean, just such a fun piece of like whatever real estate would be if you could use the word Americana. Like, like, do you know what I mean? It's like real estate history. Yeah, like it's Edmonton real estate history. Like it was just like, it was insane that as a younger child, I was like, that's insane. And then little did I know, like, down the road, I would actually be selling that like property that was like, oh, we'll just buy this property and implode it. Like, no problem. So, just kind of a fun real estate feather in my cap for sure. But so anyway, so that doesn't surprise me. That's I would love to live in an area like that. Yeah. Yeah, just need the cool 4 mil and good to go.
Oh, okay. Talking about tangents, if you had $4 million to spend on a home, would you,
no.
would you buy a home in Edmonton?
No, because those people don't have 4 million; they have 400 million. That's the thing.
No, but I mean,
okay. So
no, I'm not saying if you had 4 million.
Yeah.
Right. If you had 4 million to spend on a home.
Yeah.
Right. Would you buy a home in Edmonton? So I'm not saying, you have $400 million in the bank, but if you wanted, being the astute person, your budget's $4 million.
I don't think that's not a trick question, but it's like, you almost are like Brewster's millioning it, where it's like you have this weird loophole that you have to spend $4 million on a house, like. And where do you want to live? Like, I mean, this is where my life is set up. So I don't know. I mean, if you're like, here's $4 million, like, would I go and get a place in Venice that's like, a little 2-bedroom condo for $4 million on the beach? Or, like, I'm just like, is that what the question is? Or would I get like a compound in Montana? Like, what are we asking?
I'm wondering, where would you want to live?
In Edmonton for $4 million?
No, anywhere in the world.
We're going to have to circle back. What's your answer?
Oh, my God.
See? It's a tough question. Because I feel like there needs to be some, like, what are, like, some guardrails on this question?
Right now,
like
I do have an answer. Right now, it would be Barbados.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's beautiful all year round. Mm-hmm. Beautiful ocean, Caribbean seas. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just thinking of all the other things that I'm like losing by not being in Edmonton, and I'm so set up in Edmonton. So that's why the question stumps me a little.
Dare to dream.
I'm like, okay, so but like, let's reframe my question. If I had 4 million, it's like, listen, Gillian, here's $4 million, but you can only use it for a house in Edmonton. Where would you buy? Like, I think that could be.
Oh, yeah. That's another question.
I think it's zone 14. So that's Old River Bend.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like something like that house. I don't know if it's that house. I might be in a cool house, like an infill in Brookside, like on the ravine maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or something more like, again, on the ravine. Ooh, yeah. Like Ogilvy, Bullier.
Not Glenora?
You know what? I'm a Southside girl.
Bellevue?
No, I know a lot of people would, and I'm not gonna knock it, but like Old Riverbend is my mothership, so I'm going back.
You know what? And I find that more than anything else is a good way to predict where somebody in Edmonton is going to live. It's usually where they grew up in Edmonton.
Yeah.
People like going
unless
back
they
to
grew up
where
on the
they're-
north side. Put up.
I try hard not to get into the
Not to
whole
rag on the north side.
South side.
Okay, let's just put it this way. I feel like I know a lot of people who have started on the north side and have intentionally migrated out of there versus people who have I don't know many people who've started at Riverbend and ended up in
But I know a lot of people who were on the north side and they love it on the north side.
Oh, and that's the thing. But I wasn't on the north side, so that's why. Yeah. No. And I mean, hey, the market is an ecosystem. They all can't be like Brander Gardens, you know.
Oh my goodness.
My apologies, or not. I
don't know.
I own the tiara. I always say if the tiara fits. So, you know. But yeah, no, I like me some nice real estate. I like me a nice neighborhood. And yeah, I'm just so comfortable and familiar with the South Side, right? So yeah.
And that's the thing. I think people become familiar with their little part
and
with their little zone in Edmonton.
Yes,
right?
your zone, if you may.
Yeah. They get familiar with where they go to get groceries, where they go for fun, where they go, to meet their neighbors.
Yeah.
Their little area of the city, and that's why they call it home.
Exactly. And I think on that note, that's a wrap. Episode 1 in the books. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Until next time, guys.
See ya.
Ciao.